So in this video, we're going to show you how to create an attribute. So the first thing we want to do is go to Catalog, and then Attributes, and then Manage Attributes. We'll go into creating an attribute set in the next video. So here, we can look at all of the different attributes that are already created. If you click this View dropdown, you can see all of them that exist. Right now that says there's a total of 67 records. So to see them all, we're going to set this to 100. And you'll see all these different attributes that already exist. So this is great because we might not have to recreate some of them, like color or manufacturer. Things like that are already going to be in the system if we installed the sample data. So let's come up to the top here, and let's click this Add New Attribute button. We're going to be adding an attribute called hat style. And so this attribute code is for internal use, must be unique with no spaces. So we'll say hat_style. And you can really call this anything you'd like as long as it fits these rules. And then this is going to be global, so you can use this throughout the store. And we want this to be a dropdown. So that way that our users who are creating these products only have a select list of predefined styles to pick from. In this instance, you could also use a text field, which would just be using a unique value every single time, a text area, which might be used for some type of description or longer details that you need text. You could also have a date as an attribute, a yes, no, a drop-down, multiple select, price, media image, or fixed product text. So we're going to use drop-down for this. And this is not a unique value. So that this says not shared with other products, as in only one product can have each value. This is not the case here. Is a value required? No, it's not required, but for the most part, I think we'd be adding it. This input validation for store owner is just sort of what type of validation you want to use. Let's say if you only want to accept numbers, decimal numbers, integers, emails, URLs, that type of thing. We do not have any sort of input validation on this, especially because it's a drop-down. And apply to all product types. Okay, and now it wants to ask if this can be used to create a configurable product, and we're going to say no, because you're really not going to have a hat that's in more than one style. Let's say a beanie and a baseball hat or something like that. You're not going to have the same hat ever as both of, or different each one of those styles. So yes, we want this available in quick search. We want this available in advanced search. We want this comparable on the front end, sure, and used in layer navigation. No, I don't think we need this used in the layer navigation. But these options are really easy to change, so if you ever change your mind, you can always come back into your attribute and change them yourself. We're also not going to use it in the search results layer navigation. And used for promo rule conditions, at this moment we're not. However, you could have a sale that has, all of one type of hat that's for sale or something like that. And this is the position of the attribute. And we want this allow HTML tags on the front end. We want this visible on the view page on the front end. This doesn't need to be used in the product listing, so we're not going to worry about that. And we don't need to use it to sort the product listing. Now, the only thing we need is this manage label and options. So because this is a dropdown, we're able to add different options. For the title, we're just going to say hat style, and this is going to be the look of it on the front end of your site. We'll click add an option, and let's click add an option a couple more times, just because we want this. And we're going to use the names for our hat styles in here. So let's say this is a beanie, and then we can put this in. I don't know what a beanie is called in French or German, but we're just for the sake of this going to have it be called a beanie. And let's say a baseball hat. And this will be number 2. Keep in mind that our position starts at 0, and the lower the number, the higher up it is in your results. So you'll see this in action. Once these are in order, it's going to be beanie, baseball hat. And then we can have this last one be fedora. And these are the only types of hats that our store is going to launch with. However, you can see it's easy to add more. Let's click Save Attribute. Now, in our attribute, Manage Attributes listing here, we could search for hat, and we'll see that hat style is here, and it's ready to be used. So you've now just created your first attribute. If you want to see how any of the other attributes look, keep in mind you can always click on them and go through and see how they're set up. You can even look at their labels and modify them to your needs. In the next video, we're going to be showing you how to create an attribute set.